Alright guys, today we're having a look at the Star Wars Microgalaxy Squadron Obi-Wan's Jedi Interceptor. I just got this in. Figured I'd sit down and make the video as soon as possible. These just showed up on Amazon one day. No release from Jazwares or anything like that. They just popped up and everyone went for them. And so did I. So first off, I'll give you a look at the paint and the overall sculpt. I'll give you a quick turnaround. Just like that. You can see there's a bit of wash on it. Right there. There's the underside. The ship itself is quite small. Much like the Yoda Jedi Starfighter that I never was able to pick up because I didn't see it in stores, and it never really drew my attention anyway. First feature is, of course, as always, the opening cockpit. It ratchets into the final open position so it doesn't shut when you don't want it to, which is always appreciated. I'll give you a look at the inside of the cockpit. You can see there's a lot of wash that made it in there. It's an odd brown wash, but it does bring out the panel lines to give you some suggestion of detail. It has the TIE Fighter style triangles for the gauges and displays and all that. And the canopy would appear to be a plastic piece that has been snapped in. You can see the tabs right there. There's the leg separator to keep the figure from going all crazy while you're swooshing the ship around. And then there's the suggestion of pedals, which is pretty cool. I like that. There's a lot of awesome detail in this canopy, or in this cockpit. I mean, the canopy looks great too. It's like a sort of a smoky gray. I believe that's how it is in the movie. Pretty awesome there. Second feature up is, of course, the opening S-foils that these have. They have little helper nubs on the end for your fingers to grab onto. So you just open it like that. This one, I've now had a chance to mess with the Anakin one. The Anakin one doesn't lock open the way these do. You can see they kind of want to stop in the open position, which helps a lot for, play. Same with this one. And when you close them, you see how they want to stay in each position. That makes it a lot better for play purposes. I don't know why this one does it a lot better than the other one, but I'm not complaining. You can see there's some gray paint underneath, and then the hole that's sometimes there and sometimes not on these toys, but that is open in the movie, so I'm glad to see it's like that in the Microgalaxy. And there's how it looks from the front and the back. These should be a little wider like that. That's how they look in the movie, but this definitely gets the job done. I don't have too big a problem with it. And they just close, and they stay shut. They don't flop around, which is pretty great. It's a decent design. I'm happy with that. There's your engines. Still no paint on the engines, but a little bit of airbrush will take care of that pretty easily. There's the underside. Looks just the way it should be. Obi-Wan's gray is lighter than Anakin's. We'll do a comparison in a sec. But the paint is spot on. I don't have really any issues with the wash. I think the paint looks pretty great on this one. There's your Republic insignias. What is it? Grand Army of the Republic, I think is what they are. There's your front landing skids. There's a little helper piece on the end for that. Works great. They stay open the way they should. Same with the back one. You just pop it open and set it down. There you go. That's some pretty great landing gear. Hides away just fine. Does not compromise the lines of the ship. I think this is some very successful landing gear. Looks great. And then that's about it for the features on this one. We'll go ahead and check out the figure. This, I've had some time to look it over. This figure would appear to be a complete reissue of the one that they released with the Clone Wars the Delta 7B. So this is Attack of the Clones Obi-Wan. So it is just the wrong figure. Unless they had these, you know, what is it, like 5 or something years before, between Attack of the Clones and Revenge of the Sith. So that's a little disappointing. The figure's fine. I like the lights. I mean, it's really just the same figure as the last one. It would appear they did the beard a little better on this figure. There's your R4. At least I believe it's R4. Yes, R4. This one is pretty similar to the last one as well. They actually painted in the little, I don't know, eyeball. What do you call that? It's almost the exact same figure as the one that came from the Clone Wars Starfighter, except the red is a little darker. It's much more of like a maroon. And that's it for the figures. I'll go ahead and pull out the Anakin one right after I get these guys situated. The droid, there's no helper button on this one. You just pull them out and put them in. The droid stays in just fine, doesn't want to come out, so that's great. No issues there. And then the Obi-Wan, you just get his legs around the separator piece there. Just press him in. There he goes. And that's how they sit. And they look great. You can see him well enough through the cockpit, so you can get your movie shots while they're flying around above Coruscant. There's the Anakin one. Exact same size, but the paint jobs look just great on these. These are just awesome. I love them. Definitely, probably my absolute favorites, at least for now, from the Micro Galaxy line. These toys are just awesome. The amount of features they crammed in it. Definitely a fan. I believe there's a piece of official art that has them in this exact pose, something along those lines. And then here is the Starship Select Editu. You can see the wash is very heavy on this one. I don't know what I think of that. I think I prefer the cleaner look of this one, because they're not very dirty in Revenge of the Sith. But you can see it's not much bigger than the Starship Select one. You'd expect the Micro Galaxy to be just, a ton bigger, but these are actually the exact scale that they're supposed to be. I'm really impressed by Jazwares with these. The only thing that I'm not a fan of is the reissue of the Attack of the Clones Obi-Wan. It does detract a little bit. But obviously I can get past it, because the toy is so awesome. Here's the other ship, the Delta 7B from Clone Wars. This one was massively overscaled when it came out, and you can see it's just huge compared to the Edit 2. There's your comparisons done. Just to squash it now, no, the ship does not fit in the hyperdrive ring. You'll break it if you try, so I'm not going to try anymore. But there's your box. Obi-Wan's Interceptor. I'm not even going to try to make sense of the numbers anymore. They're all completely jumbled. If you try to actually keep track of the numbers, they're just, they'll put one number with one ship on this breakdown sheet where they'll have all the ships laid out, and it'll just be wrong. So the numbers are completely arbitrary at this point. But there's your instructions. There's the card. Different from the last one. The Anakin one has Obi-Wan here. And there's your droid fighter, coming soon. I believe it was supposed to be in this wave, but it got pushed back. There's your render. There's your card. These are actually how the S-foils are supposed to open. I can show you real quick. They don't actually want to open like that. But that's how they should be. You can see this one is supposed to come out a little bit like that. But it doesn't really want to, and I'm not going to force it anymore. There's your more instructions, and see they open properly on here. And there's the coming soon. Probably going to pick up the TIE Fighter. Don't know about these. Got to actually get my hands on them. So we'll see about those. But that's it for that video. Thank you guys for watching. I really appreciate it.